Brandon Aiyuk, the next guy that goes, and according to Kyle Shanahan, he was their top-ranked wide receiver. Who knows if that's actually true, but he trades up, he goes and gets his guy, shows that it was someone he clearly coveted. And now you also got Deebo Samuel down. He could miss some regular season time, according to John Lynch, just this week. So without anybody else, Emmanuel Sanders is now gone. It's a pretty uninspiring depth chart. Talking about clear paths to playing time, I mean, that seems like a pretty clear one. Do you think AU could make an immediate impact here?
Yeah, they clearly love him, right? Mm-hmm. And it makes sense why Shanahan and company would really love Aiyuk, because this is a player who you can get the ball into his hands early, and he's a creator. Like, he is great after the catch. He's dangerous when he's moving behind the lines of scrimmage. He's a good ideal flanker type player, like a Z guy. And those players are the ones that Shanahan loves to get his hands on. Deebo Samuel was one of them last year. Because you can move him around so much. You can use him as a mismatch a lot. The key, though, is you can move him around when you have an X receiver that you can rely on. When you have a guy that you can place on the line of scrimmage to deal with the press coverage really well, which frees up the other guys, the Deebo Samuels, the potentially Brandon Aiyuks, to move around the line of scrimmage, to play in the slot, to play off the line, to not have to deal with press coverage. That's going to be what I think they miss the most with Emmanuel Sanders, because Sanders, I think, has been one of the most underrated wide receivers for a long time. And Sanders, for as speedy as he is, as much as he can attack deep down the field, as nice of a route runner as he is, he's also a player that knows how to deal with press coverage, I think. And San Francisco, throughout the season, was afforded the luxury of not only playing a really good wide receiver like Emmanuel Sanders out on the field, but also as an X. So putting him on the line of scrimmage then could free them up to use Deebo however they wanted. And when you give Kyle Shanahan ultimate creativity with a guy like Deebo Samuel, or even a guy like Brandon Aiyuk, you're going to see the rewards. He's going to be able to put them in the right situations, and they're going to be able to get the most out of their talent as those creators after the catch and those gadget-type players, those short yardage guys that they can take it for a mile. But you've got to have that X guy. Aiyuk's not an X. At least not now. He struggled when he went up against good, tight press coverage at Arizona State. So when he was drafted to San Francisco, it was kind of a two-sided thing. I get it, because I know that Kyle Shanahan loves players like this, and especially for a player like Aiyuk who can really stretch the field vertically, Shanahan's going to love this guy. But they still need next, whether it's like Jalen Hurd or whether you're putting George Kittle out wide and on the line of scrimmage or something like that. I think they really need a guy who can step up and play on the line of scrimmage and deal with press coverage to not only open up Brandon Aiyuk, but also allow Deebo Samuel to have a similar year that he did the year before. So when I talk about Brandon Aiyuk, I like it, but it is a situation where I think that San Francisco is still figuring things out, because they need that X guy to really unlock how good Aiyuk can be in this offense.
That's a really interesting point, where like the clear path to playing time might actually be a disadvantage here, because it would be better to have a potential guy outside that draws all that. So that is really intriguing. But if they can find that, I was looking up as you talked to illustrate just how good of a potential fit the after the catch skills would be. 54% of the yards in this offense came after the catch, which is that scheme, which is you already knew, but just again 54%, a pretty whopping number. And 710 yards of Brandon Aiyuk's came after the catch. After the catch, they're third among all draft eligible receivers. 378 of them after contact, which was the most. So I mean, a lot of Deebo Samuel shades. But yes, if he doesn't have that guy drawing the press, drawing that. It could be deadly. Maybe Antonio Brown gets a call. I mean, that would be something.
I don't know, man, because that was something too. Is that Juju Smith-Schuster? He had his real big breakout year when they allowed him to play off the line of scrimmage a lot, and that's when they had Antonio Brown on the team and when they had other guys who could play that X position, like it allowed them to use Smith-Schuster in a lot of different ways. And when Antonio Brown wasn't on the team, it was a little bit different. They still tried to do that as much as they could. But without that player, you could put in line at any time or on the line of scrimmage at any time, it just gets a little bit trickier. And so that's why it's, Deebo Samuel being down, Emmanuel Sanders not there. I know a lot of people are going to look at Brandon Aiyuk and just say like, oh, targets. He's going to be the wide receiver one. He might be, but when I look at this 49ers depth chart, if Jalen Hurd doesn't come back from his injury to be able to play that X role, I don't know who else plays the X because, you got Trent Taylor, you got Dante Pettis, Kendrick Bourne, Chris Thompson, Travis Benjamin. These aren't X receivers.
No.
And so it's just like, I'm very intrigued to see how this is going to work out for them.
What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.